Oh, sorry, you scared me there. But, since you're here, since you clicked on the video, I think we should get acquainted with each other. My name's Damien. What's your name? Wow, that's a beautiful name. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys some Christmas monsters. Monsters that are associated with Christmas. I did another video kind of like this one a year ago. And, why not do it again? It's that time of year. I got nothing better to do, so let's dive right in, shall we? And I am going to be reading from my laptop. I was going to be reading from a script, but my printer decided to not work. So this may look a little awkward and a little weird, but I don't know. We're going to have to deal with it. All right, our first monster that I'm going to be talking about is Lwyd. And I say this in every monster video I make. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing these names right. It never feels like I am pronouncing them right, but I'm trying my best, and hopefully I am. So, first up, Lwyd. Lwyd is a Welsh tradition, and Lwyd is a mare's skull on a pole, and it's also draped in a white cloth. A person hides under this white cloth, and they'll be holding the pole. And this person who is hiding under the cloth is able to control the movements of this horse's skull, so it can make it snap and bite at people when they're passing by it. Just because that's fun to scare people with a horse's skull, especially around Christmas. Lwyd is also usually decorated with ribbons, and sometimes it will have ornaments or Christmas lights in the eye sockets of the skull, because that screams Christmas, you know what I mean? The tradition of Lwyd is associated with caroling, or it's a lot like caroling. It takes place during the 12 days of Christmas. Starting at sunset, a group of people carrying Lwyd will go door to door, and they will knock and ask in song to come inside. So they'll be like, "May I come inside?" And the homeowner cannot let them in and tells them to not come in, but they also must respond in song. So they'll be like, "No, you can't come inside, please go away." I know you guys love my singing voice. And these two people will try to outdo each other with songs. So they kind of have a battle with songs, with caroling, which honestly kind of sounds like a really fun time. But if the homeowner finally surrenders and lets Lwyd come in, the homeowners are expected to give them food and ale as a reward for their efforts. Because, come on. They're going door to door, carrying a horse's skull. That deserves a reward. I think we can all agree on that. And once Lwyd is inside the house, it may snap the little children inside just for fun. And that can either delight the children or scare them forever. It just screams Christmas, doesn't it? Let's move on. Next monster on the list is Grýla and Leppalúði. So I lied. It's actually two monsters. I can't believe I messed up my own script. Anyways, Grýla and Leppalúði come from Iceland. Grýla is an ogress who is constantly hungry, all the time. She is hungry, and she is always looking for food, which makes sense, because she's always hungry. Apparently, she is huge and repulsive looking, like most ogresses are. She is said to have features such as multiple heads with eyes on the back of them, a beard, a tail, and fangs. And Grýla, like I said, is always hungry. But what's her favorite thing to eat? Of course, we all guessed it. It's naughty children. Nothing screams the holidays like some good old-fashioned cannibalism. Grýla is said to disguise as a common beggar, and she goes to houses and asks parents if she can take their naughty children away and correct them. She's like, yo, can I borrow your child? I don't know why she talks like that, but she's like, yo, can I borrow your child? I'm gonna go teach them how to be nice children. And, I mean, I hope the parents are just like, yeah, take my child. I believe you ugly, multiple-headed ogre who has fangs and a tail. Yeah, I completely trust you. But they shouldn't do that, because what she really does is takes the children back to her lair and she devours them. Sometimes, however, she doesn't do this alone. Sometimes she is accompanied by her husband, Leppalúði. Leppalúði is actually Grýla's third mate. She ate her first and killed her second, and now she's with a troll named Leppalúði. So they seem to be working out pretty fine. I don't know if I should be happy with them, because they're monsters who eat naughty children. Anyways, Leppalúði is supposedly not as pretend that didn't just happen. Apparently, he's not as malevolent as his wife. Grýla and Leppalúði have 13 children, known as the Yule lads, and their house pet is the Yule cat. You know what? Why don't we explore those monsters? So the 13 Yule lads also come from Iceland. They are the sons of Grýla and Leppalúði. And apparently they started just as evil and rotten as their parents, but got a bit kinder over the centuries. People say they look anywhere from absolutely hideous trolls to human-like and jolly. Legend says there were once 82 of these Yule lads, but over time they combined and were reimagined, and now we have the classic 13. Yet some regions believe in a smaller number, such as 9. Each of the lads is said to visit houses. They would leave treats in the shoes of good children and leave rotten potatoes in the shoes of naughty children. The lads would arrive on different nights leading up to Christmas. On December 12th, Stekkjastar visits your house, and his name translates to sheep coat clod. He likes to steal milk from sheep, but he has one peg leg, so he makes a lot of noise. So if you don't want your sheep's milk to be stolen, just listen for a peg leg clanking around. On December 13th, Giljager, or Goligok, comes to your house. He loves milk from cows, and he will wait for humans to milk cows, and then he will steal their milk. On December 14th, Stuver, or Stubby, he visits. His name speaks truth. He is short, and he likes to eat leftover crusts on cooking pans. I can totally understand that. Leftover crusts on cooking pans is so delicious. On December 15th, we got Thuraslaker, or Spoon Licker. Guess what he does? Yeah, that's right. He steals spoons just to lick the food off them. However, there is never enough food on these spoons to satisfy his hunger, leaving him emaciated. On December 16th, we're looking at Putta Skyfill, or Pot Scraper. He scrapes leftover food from pots, and he is said to be more scrawny than his brother. On December 17th, we're looking at Askaslaker, or Bowl Licker. We're seeing a trend here. He loves to lick bowls, even if they are meant for house pets. Well, he is known to hide under beds, then steal the bowls from these animals. So he's a bit of a jerk. On December 18th, Herthaskefler will come to your house. His name translates to door slammer. Guess what he does? That's right. He slams doors. And he does this just to wake people up in the middle of the night. What a nice guy. On December 19th, Skier Galmer is coming to your house. His name roughly translates to Skyer Gobbler. And I just realized I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's actually Skier Gobbler. Skier is a type of Icelandic cheese yogurt, and this guy is known to steal it because of how much he loves it. So they really like stealing food. But we're not done yet. There are still a few Yule lads to go over. Whew, this one's gonna be fun to pronounce. On December 20th, Bjarnakrekur, or Sausage Swiper, comes to your house. He hides in rafters and steals sausages. On December 21st, Glukagayir, or Window Peeper, is coming over. He just looks through his windows to find things to steal. So, he's kind of like a peeping Tom, but he's not trying to look at you. I think he's just trying to find stuff to steal. I don't really know if that's better. On December 22nd, Gathather, or Doorway Sniffer, is coming over. He uses his giant nose to sniff and find a kind of Icelandic holiday pastry, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce what it's called in Iceland, because I'm too lazy to find another hard word to pronounce. But in English, it is known as leaf bread, I believe. On December 23rd, Ket Croker, or Meat Hook, is coming over. He carries a meat hook, and he uses it to steal meat, but in earlier times, it is possible he was said to use this hook to grab children, because that's what every single holiday monster does. They steal children, because leaving coal in their stockings wasn't enough. Oh, sorry, just kind of got lost in a nightmare for a minute. On December 24th, Kartasniker, or Candle Stealer, is coming over. Guess what he does? He steals candles. And then he eats them. I wonder how candles taste. But in the olden days, when Candle Stealer stole them, they were made from animal fat. So that kind of makes sense that he would eat them. But animal fat, that does not sound very appetizing. Alright. Well, that's basically all the Yule ads, kind of just in a nutshell. Fun fact, there was once an Icelandic law passed in the 18th century that forbid parents telling the stories of Grýla and Leppalúði and the Yule ads to their children. I have no idea how that was enforced, though. Alright, now we're looking at Jólakötturinn. Jólakötturinn is also known as the Yule cat, and that may sound nice. I mean, who doesn't love a nice cat? A Yule cat that can snuggle up to you while you're sitting by the fire, telling Christmas stories. That sounds really nice. Well, you see, the Yule cat, or Jólakötturinn, is nothing like that. It's a horrifying monster. It is a gigantic house cat that feeds on, you guessed it, naughty children. An old custom in Iceland was to give children clothes if they finished their chores. Like on Christmas, they'd be like, hey, you finished your chores, here's some clothes. And I feel like that's a stereotype where I come from, where like you get socks or an ugly Christmas sweater and you hate that you got that for Christmas. But in Iceland, you're supposed to be glad that you got that, because if they didn't get any clothes, the Yule cat would first eat the children's dinner. So first they go hungry, that's not very nice, and then the Yule cat eats them. So next time you get some clothes for Christmas, be a little grateful. At least the Yule cat doesn't come and get you. All right, I believe we are now on our last monster. Sorry, this video flew by so fast. This monster is named Hans Trapp. Hans Trapp. That's a beautiful name. Hans Trapp was based on a real German knight named Hans von Trotha. Hans had some conflict with the church he was a part of, and eventually he was excommunicated. But before he died, he got his act together and reconciled with his church. So that's kind of nice. He was, accepted back into his church. That's nice. However, according to legend, Hans was evil and nothing more. He delighted in living the most sinful life you could possibly imagine. He just loved sinning. He loved going against what God said. He just loved being evil. And people say that he made a pact with the devil. And when you make a pact with the devil, you know something bad's about to happen. And after he made this pact with the devil, he roamed the forests of what is now eastern France and western Germany, although some legends place him in southern Bavaria. Like literally almost every single Christmas monster, he is said to kill and eat children. Because killing children isn't enough, you also need to eat their flesh for some reason. He dressed in rags stuffed with straw, which made him look like a demonic scarecrow. How nice. He would use this disguise, if you can call it that, to capture travelers or those who strayed too far into the woods, but he mostly preyed on children. Eventually, God finally decided to punish him, however. God struck him with lightning and split open his skull. So he got what he deserved. That's, like, honestly such a cool death. Like, I'd love to see that in, like, a movie or something. Definitely not in real life. Anyways, but Hans Trapp was offered the chance to repent for his sins by being Saint Nicholas's faithful servant, although some legends say that he is just as evil as he was before, and he won't hesitate to kill and eat children. Children would sometimes sing songs to him around the holidays, and these songs would explain how good they had been. And that is where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And I would also just like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, just happy holidays, whatever holiday you're celebrating. I hope you all have a great one, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.